Arco Arena is sold out, and tonight they hope to see their Sacramento Kings stay alive in the Western semifinals against the Dallas Mavericks. There's new energy for both teams. They really believe now the Laker dynasty is off their roadmap. As we look at the Bud Light starting lineups, two teams still with championship dreams go at it. Steve Nash and Michael Finley, the guards. Raja Bell gets another start and a good game in Game 5. Dirk Nowitzki, Rafe LaFrentz up front. Sacramento with Mike Bibby and Doug Christie. Peja Stojakovic, Hedo Turkoglu from Turkey, and Vlade Divac from Serbia. The international starting lineup. For Don Nelson, it's the 293rd time that he is participating in an NBA playoff game. 150 as a player, and now he works as a coach for the 143rd time. On the other side, it's Rick Adelman, who took Portland to back-to-back finals, or a couple of finals in 90 and 92. An opportunity for Adelman here to do something Sacramento's never done, win games 6 and 7 in a playoff series. Chris Webber's jersey is being worn by Mateen Cleaves, but Chris Webber, who is such a force in everything Sacramento does, with the knee injury late in Game 2's third quarter, takes a seat just behind the Kings.
Like two heavyweight boxers just throwing haymakers at each other. Bobby Jackson from the outside first. Nick Van Exel shaking him up. Bobby Jackson again along the baseline. Nick Van Exel with that superior range. And watch the strength of Bobby Jackson. Able to finish near the bucket. Nick Van Exel using Bobby Jackson's own teammate against him along the baseline.
And when it got too intense, referee Danny Crawford helped step in. Down.
You know what, fellas? Both of you kind of eased up. Okay, all right, okay. All right, I like that. 24. Okay.
They have both pushed each other to the edge with their intensity, but it's brought the best out in both of them. It's typical of the adage that it's not who starts the game, it's who finishes. They won't start the third quarter on the floor, but if it's close, the end of 4, they'll be on the floor. Here's David Aldridge.
Guys, the one thing that came up in the Dallas locker room, penetration. Everybody got layups for the Sacramento Kings in the first half. One of the assistant coaches said Bobby Jackson was the only one doing any shooting. The rest of them went straight to the basket. Del Harris, the assistant coach, said this is a mano thing. We just got to get in front of them and stop them, guys.
Turkoglu adds to the layup and dunk column. They had done so well in the last 3 games that Don Nelson says, guys, we emphasize it in the locker room, and the first hoop is a dunk.
Yeah, and you see, and that really epitomizes the way the Mavericks need to step up their defense. Right out of the locker room, the guy gets a dunk.
Raja Bell finds Rafe LaFrentz inside. LaFrentz, 13 points, leading all Dallas starters in scoring.
And when you talk about points in the paint, the reason the Kings have dominated is because they are penetrating the basketball, and the Mavericks are settling for outside jumpers.
Stojakovic finally gets going. Peja was just 2 of 10 from the field. Now knocks that one down to put Sacramento back on top by 7. The same 10 players that started the game on the floor to start the third quarter. Nash tries to get going as well. He was just 1 of 6 in the first half.
You need that big man to step up and help out on those little picks at the top of the key. Especially when it's Steve Nash. You can't sit back and wait for him to make a pass.
That time, as he was anticipating Bibby coming up to the top of the key, Mike went baseline. Nash had to foul him, his first.
Well, watch his offensive possession. Michael Finley's outside the lane. These two guys here on the backside, they've got to zone it up. They must be aware of what's happening on the strong side.
Divac let all the traffic clear. Nowitzki comes to double, but over LaFrentz. Vlade Divac connects for his 5th field goal. He has 10.
You know, with Vlade, you know the move's coming again, but you cannot stop it.
LaFrentz a 3, wide right. Rebounded by Finley. Rafe looking for the assist on that.
He just picked the wrong club out of his bag.
Nice. Van Exel quickly up to the scorer's table, 2 minutes in to this third quarter. Stojakovic hit the last one. Now goes to the cup. But Nowitzki did a nice job defensively. And it's taken away.
Even Nowitzki waits till Stojakovic gets all the way to the bucket to challenge him. You got to step up and stop guys before they even get into the paint.
Nowitzki now tries to back to the basket. Turkoglu. The double comes. Finley free for 3.
Ball on the floor, goes to the bucket. All he has to do is be one man, and that's it.
Finley out high, out to Nash. Nowitzki, who loves to work from this right side, hits the hoop.
And you know what makes that play so dangerous? As soon as that pass is coming to him, he runs toward the pass. By the time he catches it, he's already past the defender.
Turkoglu turned down a shot. Bibby took one. Misfired rebound by Bradley. You know what's missing for Dallas right now? One of those grit guys, Raja Bell, Eduardo Nahara, LaFrance, that made the third quarter difference. It's the big four and Sean Bradley. Nowitzki looking for the foul, not caught.
That's what's going to take this team over the top in the future. They're going to need a hard-working guy who's just going to rebound, play defense.
Turkoglu splashes down a three. Sacramento up 5.
You know, you can take several players off of each team, and they're not going to miss a beat. There's so many weapons the Mavs and the Kings possess.
Foul on Turkoglu, his second.
I mean, Turkoglu essentially doesn't play all year long because of the presence of Jim Jackson, and here he is stepping up big in a playoff game. He steps behind that line. This guy 6'10", running the floor, catches the ball, steps behind the line, and drains the three. And he makes it look easy. It's an extremely difficult shot.
Turkoglu, who's from Turkey, told me that everybody's staying up back in his home. Istanbul, his hometown. Foul here on Bibby. They stay up till about 5 in the morning to watch the games. They said it's a little easier to watch Mehmet Okur of the Detroit Pistons, their rookie. He's from Turkey as well.
Another fine player, too. Another outstanding basketball player.
Big guy at 7 foot who took 118 three-point attempts in this season. But he said because of the Eastern time zone with Detroit, it's a lot easier for the people back home in Turkey to watch Okur's games than it is to stay up for the late games. Van Exel finally missed a three. Bradley with the rebound. Nick, deep triple. Well, he's missed 2 now.
He's too anxious to shoot that ball. He's waiting for that ball for 5 seconds.
4 on 2. Christie. Stojakovic. Dallas has to be careful. Finley the other way. Tough shot. Good shot.
And you know, the Mavs don't even care. I mean, the transition defense wasn't even textbook. They don't care if you come down and get a layup and you score on them. They just want the ball back. Just give it back to us. We can give it to Michael Finley or Dirk Nowitzki, and they can do their magic.
Asia, a three. Shot is not there. I wonder if his legs have ever fully rebounded from the double overtime game 3. 4 of 14 shooting tonight. Poor Sean Bradley. Okay, I guess I'm going for the offensive board here, guys. I understand.
This is like a pickup game. You just let the guards work.
And Van Exel has been going to work all night. After missing the 2, the Mavs shooting 55%, Sacramento 56. Sacramento has gotten a lot more layups and dunks, dominating the paint points. Vlade Divac in foul trouble in Game 5 has been a factor here in Game 6.
Yeah, because Sacramento's been attacking the bucket. No blue jerseys in the paint. You see Bobby Jackson taking it now. Jim Jackson's starting to get a layup. Watch Doug Christie here. No outside defense. Turkoglu gets an easy dunk. Then Vlade Divac, three-point play right down the lane. In order for the Dallas Mavericks to win this series, again, they need to stop the easy buckets. You just can't continue to give a team like the Sacramento Kings layups and dunks. Because not only is it 2 points, but it also helps the rhythm on the perimeter. If you're a guy who's struggling shooting the basketball, there's no better thing than to get a layup or a dunk to get you started.
These two teams have combined, Sean, for 20 of 21 from the free throw line here in Game 6. Nowitzki, Bradley, Finley, Van Exel, and Nash, the 5 for Dallas, the big 4, and the big man. Finley works Stojakovic. Here's Bradley flashing. Divac's up under his arms, but Sean still shoots. Turkoglu went up to get it, now fought Finley for the board. Bibby on the push. Stojakovic attacking the cup. Nice reverse by Peja. Where's the old Eastern Conference? You cannot make a layup. I'm going to knock you on your butt.
You tell me, because when Stojakovic laid that ball up, there were 3 Kings that hadn't even crossed half court.
Nash is fouled by Stojakovic.
Stojakovic took that ball between 4 or 5 Dallas Mavericks. Look at all the guys in blue jerseys that are back. There's 1, 2. Finley's late in that picture, but that's right between your 2 big men. And you had 3 of the Sacramento Kings players hadn't even crossed half court. That was basically 1-on-4.
It's the second time we've seen that tonight. Remember the 1-on-3 layup made by Stojakovic in the first half.
We just had it in that last package. I mean, Stojakovic might be better taking it 1-on-3 or 1-on-4 than shooting it from the perimeter.
Nash, 1 of 2. That is the first Mavericks miss of the night at the line. They're 8 of 9. Kings by 6 as we approach the 4-minute mark of the third. Flave trying to dump it down to Christie. It was knocked away, but 8 to shoot. The French back in. Divac goes right at it. Nowitzki leans the board.
That was still a 3-foot jump hook.
Van Exel, a soft teeter-topping left-hander from Nick.
That's straight out of the playgrounds right there, that move.
That guy is straight out of the playground. Street ball, baby.
That's not a move that you practice with the cones out there. That's not a fundamental basketball move. That's straight playground.
Bibby had his shot blocked by Finley. Finley calls for it on the secondary break, but Nash takes it and makes it a 2-point game. Field goal shooting both sides, or poor defense here in this third. Finley is fouled as he went up for the shot.
Well, I don't agree with that call there. Jim Jackson did an exceptional job of moving his feet and holding his ground. And I thought going 1-on-1 against Jim Jackson, I don't know if that's such a huge advantage for Michael Finley, because Jim Jackson can move his feet and he's strong. He's much stronger than Michael Finley, and he's wide. It's extremely difficult to get around a guy like that.
Both teams in the bonus, final 100 seconds. Both starting point guards, Bibby Sacramento, Nash Dallas, on their respective benches. 1 of 2 for Finley at the line, who has struggled with his free throws in this series. The guy who shoots 86% on the year is in the 50s in these 5 games.
Now that's surprising.
Christie, they've been going to this a lot in this third quarter. On Van Exel. He got the rebound and got fouled. All hustle there from Doug Christie. 4 on Van Exel.
And you want to take Nick Van Exel out of the ball game, this is how you do it. You make him work. Don't tell me this isn't going to drain his legs when he has to take on a bigger, stronger offensive player in the block area, and he's forced to work down there. Most guards are unaccustomed to playing post defense. They're used to moving their feet on the perimeter. They're not built for really having to use their weight and keeping guys out of the lane.
Doug Christie makes the free throws. He has 20, leading all scorers for the Kings. 7 rebounds, 4 assists as well. Look for a defensive switch next time down, with Raja Bell perhaps picking up Christie. Hands on their feet in Arco early in the third quarter. Finley, nice cross on Christie. Van Exel left 3. Knocks down 3.
As soon as he caught that ball, you could tell it was good, because he had his feet set. He was ready to shoot that ball. He didn't have to rush his shot. It was a nice rhythm jumper. And he's going to hit 9 out of 10 of those.
Here's the switch. He has Bobby Jackson. Jim Jackson misfired. It did not go over the top. It hit the top, which is in play. And Dallas has a chance to go 2 for 1. Who better to have it when you're thinking 2 for 1?
Exactly. He's going to get you 2 nice ones for sure.
Nowitzki took Stojakovic into the lane.
Nowitzki's just a special player. They can score from anywhere on the floor.
7 in this quarter, 17 in the game. The lead is 4.
You know, most guys might have a sweet spot. I mean, I used to love the baseline jumper. Dirk Nowitzki, the entire half-court area is his sweet spot.
Did you ever hit any big baseline jumpers?
1 or 2. Here's Dirk. Nice little outside fake. That old Michael Jordan. Fake to the left, turn around right.
7 to shoot. Turkoglu dumps it back to Christie. Walt Williams got a piece. Fans said he got more body. They say play on. Last shot here for Dallas. Nick Van Exel says, get out of the way. There's no chance for any of you taking the shot but me. He takes it. He makes it. He's been nothing short of remarkable in this series. Jackson with a fling. to end the third quarter. Dallas a 7-0 run to end the third. Nick Van Exel has 29 points. He has already scored 36 and 40 in this series. The former Laker, in his 10th year out of Cincinnati, is trying to take the Dallas Mavericks to a place they've only been once before, the Western Conference Finals. It's been 15 years, but they can taste it. Off we go to the fourth. Sacramento by 2. The courtside, he would see a show from Nick Van Exel in the third.
Well, he's just one of those guards. When he gets going, no one can stop him. First off, he drops off Doug Christie, then Mike Bibby. This time going around Bobby Jackson. And again, Bobby Jackson, you cannot gamble on Nick Van Exel out on the perimeter. In all my years watching Van Exel, I've never seen anybody take the ball away from him in the open court. He's a master with the basketball, and he's one of those guys, again, if he gets hot, you can't put a little guy on him because he's going to post him up and destroy him in the block area. And you put a big man on him, he's going to toy with him on the perimeter.
And, Sean, he also feeds on the crowd getting on him as well.
Yeah, one of those guys, when you start booing him or the hecklers start saying all the derogatory comments, this guy picks up his game.
Van Exel starts the fourth quarter with Walt Williams, Michael Finley, Dirk Nowitzki, and Raja Bell for Dallas. He starts with a three. Missed it, and the rebound for Stojakovic.
I won't lie, that one looked good. I was right behind him, right on the mark.
Mike Bibby starts the fourth on the bench as well. It's Turkoglu, Jimmy Jackson, Peja Stojakovic, Doug Christie, Bobby Jackson with the ball. Goes all the way. Rebound by Nowitzki. Dirk has pulled down his 8th rebound of the night. Finley climbs across the lane. Peja goes up to get the board.
A tough shot that time. But I still like the penetration by Michael Finley. When that defense collapses, that's when you look for your teammates.
Christie abused Van Exel. They've switched Raja Bell on him. A better defender caused the contact and drew the foul. On Bellitz's third, Nowitzki has 3. LaFrentz and Van Exel each have 4. Sacramento tried to do something the franchise has never done. Win games 6 and 7. It's only the 5th game 6 in the history of both franchises. Dallas 2-2, Sacramento 1-3. The only win was when the Sacramento franchise was in Cincinnati in '63. They beat Boston in game 6, lost to the Celtics in game 7, and as happened almost every year in the 60s, those Celtics went on to win the NBA championship.
I don't know if that will ever happen again in this league. We have a team that's so dominant.
Nowitzki over Stojakovic. Fight for the ball. It will stay with Dallas. Talked about this Sacramento franchise. Their owners, Reggie Jackson, sitting next to Gavin Maloof, one of the owners. Come on, Reg. You've been on TV your whole life. Move back. Gavin's
I'll grab by the shoulder.
And there's Joe Maloof in the tunnel, along with general manager Jeff Petrie of this team. They can't watch from courtside seats. Van Exel over Turkoglu, splashes down another one. That is 3 30-plus point games off the bench in this series for Nick Van Exel. As we said earlier, one of the best series off the bench by a man in NBA history. Stojakovic is fouled. Let's see who this one's on. 43.
After Van Exel just absolutely shakes, bakes, deep fries, and bastes Turkoglu just gives him a look after he makes that shot like, you know, what am I going to do? That's 6'10", trying to get that shot, and he just gets a mouthful of jumper.
Van Exel now has gone over 26 times in these playoffs. It's approaching the record, which is 8 by Thurl Bailey of Utah in '88 and Ricky Pierce of the Bucks in '89.
So you're in a perilous position when a guy like Nick Van Exel gets this hot. Because what are you going to do? You put a guy 6'10" on him, you put your best defender on him, and if he's still eating him up, you got to double team him. And that's going to free up a plethora of outside shooters for the Mavericks.
If Christie and Bobby Jackson can't slow him down, who's going to? Nobody on this Sacramento team. Turkoglu fouls Nowitzki.
They're just picking on poor Turkoglu. First it was Van Exel. Now it's Dirk Nowitzki taking his shot.
Tito has 3 team fouls in this quarter. Dallas 2, Sacramento 1. Always in the fourth quarter of a playoff game, you see who gets to the bonus first. Nowitzki 8 of 8 at the line tonight.
But you see, even here, Turkoglu against the 7-footer, he almost gets to that shot. And he thinks he got a piece of it. And that shows you how talented Nick Van Exel is, because that last time down the floor, Turkoglu didn't even get close to making that block.
An arm so long, it's hard not to get a piece of it as you try to go up and deter a shot. Little zone here for the Mavs. Bobby Jackson tries to bake it. Break it with a 3. He can bake it and get hot.
In this game.
Oh, they did a heck of a job coming up with these 2 plays, because obviously Dallas shooting 53% from the field. Not a lot of opportunities.
Log on to ESPN.com and vote for the Dockers Defenders Edge. Gentlemen.
Guys, here as we are just inside of 9, it's Sacramento by 3. Vlade Divac's back on the floor, and here's David Aldridge with more.
Guys, all year the Sacramento Kings have been trying to rest Vlade Divac. It's one of the reasons when Scott Pollard got injured, it was such a blow to him. They know that Vlade Divac is 36 years old, and right now they really believe he's a 30-minute player. They don't think he can give them much more than that. That's why they give him so many breaks during the first half. Coming into the stretch, he's played 26 minutes. There's 9 minutes left to go. Guys?
Well, David, he was part of the World Championships in Indianapolis this past August. And Sean, you can speak to it very well. That's a long season for someone of his age and the amount of basketball he's played.
When you consider last season, he goes to Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, turns around and participates in the World Games. The next thing you know, you're back in training camp. That's too much basketball when you're that old. And at 36 years old, you can still play, but believe me, if I'd gone through a schedule like that, I'd be doing this game from a stretcher.
Well, Divac's back on the floor, likely the rest of the way. Sacramento by 1 after the free throws by Dallas. Nowitzki draws the defensive assignment. Vlade kept it alive. A little curly knee dribble, and Christie short on the 3. Good hustle to the board by Jim Jackson. Joins Bobby Jackson, Doug Christie, Peja Stojakovic, and Vlade. Bobby comes down the lane. Nowitzki showed defensively and altered the shot. Back comes Van Exel on the run with 2 teammates. And Finley at the line. Missed the 3, Van Exel the board. Quick trigger, Nick. Puts the Mavericks on top by 1.
I'm not sure that he even had both his legs underneath him when he shot that ball. When he came down with the offensive rebound, looked like one of his legs almost gave out. He almost stumbled. He goes right back up with it.
Asia lost it on the way up, got it back. Bobby Jackson twirling, sent away by Walt Williams, but Jimmy Jackson got it back and draws the foul. Walt Williams took that in a painful spot.
Goes right up with it. That's when you know you're unconscious. That's when you have it going on. He doesn't even care that Bobby Jackson is in the vicinity. Straight up with the basketball after coming down with it awkwardly.
14 of 19 from the field, 33 points, third 30-plus game of the series. And what an acquisition for the Mavs. Jimmy Jackson will have one more.
I tell you what, Mike, I'm not a huge proponent of just strictly one-on-one basketball, but coming down the stretch, when you look at numbers like that, 14 for 19 for the field, and the way he's shooting with a ton of confidence, I'm almost likely to just come down and pass him the ball and clear out a side from him, for him, every time down the floor.
Extraordinary free throw shooting by Sacramento tonight. 23 of 24 at the line, taking advantage of getting there. They lead by 1, 7:45 to go in regulation. Must win to keep the season alive for the Kings. Nowitzki left free on the pick and roll. Missed the 3. Christie the rebound. Still no Vivian Nash. They're getting a long break here. Christie tries to get that foul on Van Exel. Beautiful bounce to Stojakovic.
You can see all the backdoor cutting, all the ball movement, the body's moving. They're an excellent backdoor team, and that comes directly from their bench.
Van Exel, bad angle, off the glass. Divac took the shot in the face. Nash ready to come in. Bibby won't be too far behind. Sacramento trying to take a 5-point lead. Jimmy Jackson backing in on Bell. Lost it, wants the foul, and picked up a technical foul. Joe Forte calling a technical foul on Jimmy Jackson, who just turned and screamed the wrong words at the wrong time. And Nowitzki will take the two.
There's a time and place where you take a tee, and that's a good one to take. I mean, if you feel like you get fouled, you have to take a technical every once in a while. You're at home.
But Sean, it's the fourth quarter. You're up 3. Every point counts in a game. You've got to have to keep playing.
It really does. But sometimes you take a tee, and then the calls start to go your way. And I've seen that more often than not.
All right. Mavs 3 team fouls in the quarter. Sacramento 2. Little milepost for you there. LaFrance, good job to stick with it. Ronnie attacks the glass. Jimmy Jackson gets the rebound.
And I know exactly what you're saying, but you still have basically 7 minutes left in this ballgame. If you're going to take a tee in the last minute or 30 seconds, that's obviously something that you don't want to do, but you still have plenty of time.
Devons has it slapped away. He didn't complain about that call. Nash back on the floor with Van Exel. LaFrance, Nowitzki, and Finley. Van Exel finds Nash to Finley for a corner 3. That hit the shot clock. It's out of bounds in Sacramento ball.
I'm telling you, the way Nick Van Exel's penetrating, shooting the basketball, I almost leave the ball in his hands, and then he makes everybody else on the floor better. That time when he penetrated baseline, the entire defense is focused on what he's going to do, and he has his options on the perimeter. He had Nash that time, he had Finley, and probably Nowitzki if he could turn around and get that pass to him.
Well, isn't it bizarre? Mike Bibby's still on the bench here. 7 years, $80 million. He's one of your big guys. Must win. He's still on the bench. Stojakovic can't get it. Jimmy Jackson the rebound. Vlade re-tees Jimmy Jackson.
Nice presence of mind by Jim Jackson not to force up a shot to get Vlade in the block.
Stojakovic, 3! Sacramento run. Here is Finley. Thrown away. Stolen by Christie. These fans ready to explode. Kings in a must-win situation. Trying to force Game 7. Devons takes it. Jackson comes down with the rebound.
And you're going to look at the box score in the morning if the Kings win this game, and Jim Jackson's numbers may not be impressive, but he's playing an outstanding floor game.
LaFrance fighting Devons, trying to deny the position. Vlade loses it, got it back. Rebound, Nowitzki. And he loses it out of bounds. Sacramento, 7-0 run. They lead by 6, trying to survive. Sacramento now under 50%. Dallas has had a very poor shooting quarter, just 2 of 11. Nick Van Exel's 3rd game over 30 in the series. Devons has had 17, but the offense has run through Vlade, and that's been so important for Sacramento's offense, Sean Elliott.
And he's done an exceptional job finding his teammates, and not only that, they've had a quiet contribution from Jim Jackson. Watch him. There he is. He goes and he sets the screen on Dirk Nowitzki. Michael Finley a little late out there on the pass. Stojakovic wide open, and those are the type of things you don't see in the box score. Look at Stojakovic. He's begging for this basketball. Finally gets a nice screen. You saw Jim Jackson in the corner of your screen there. Wide open look, nice rhythm jumper. Stojakovic, nice jumper. Vlade Devons, beautiful pass.
Well, Sean, he's hit 2 of 3 in this quarter. After having 39 in that double overtime game, how much did it take out of him? In games 4, 5, in the first 3 quarters of the 6th game, Stojakovic was 16 of 48 and it hit only 2 3-pointers. Maybe he's getting a little bit of his shot, his legs back here in the 4th. Sacramento tries to go a bait. Cajun stuck inside. Jimmy Jackson the bailout at the basket. Stojakovic got the wall from Devons. Bobby Jackson in the lane. Tough shot! Wow, what a release. It's 8. The owner, Joe Maloof's in the hallway playing defense. Van Exel goes in, and he got that one to go. 35 for Nick tonight.
Not only are does the NBA possess the finest athletes in the world, but half of them may be on this floor. Bobby Jackson's shot was astounding.
Divac this time doubled and stepped out of bounds. Fans wanted a foul from the helping Walt Williams. So did Vlade. It was not called, and we have a timeout. As Vlade pleads his case, he's got to be careful because he has a technical 5-6. Mike Tirico with Sean Elliott and David Aldridge. Usually Tom Tolbert is here at this point of the night. Tom worked the earlier game on ABC. But without him, we still have Sprite, Mad, Skills.
And then from all around, Jim Jackson knocking down the 3 ball, going outside. Beautiful pass again, Jim Jackson cutting, getting the ball inside, and here he is again, right place at the right time. I don't think so. The guy's just active. He's aware. He's full of energy and intensity, and that's your Sprite, Mad Skills.
Come on, give me one. Here's David Aldridge.
As Jimmy Jackson was the last of the 3 J's to be traded from the Dallas Mavericks in 1997. And after that happened, Don Nelson called the whole group a bunch of babies. Jim Jackson thinks that got him blackballed from the NBA. And that's one of the reasons why he's bounced from team to team. Atlanta, Portland, Cleveland. If you don't think Jim Jackson's taking this series personally, you thought wrong.
His 9th team here, David, didn't get here till mid-season with all the injuries going on. Tough fighting for position. Divac has it now. Across on Nowitzki for 2.
That's just a cherry on top for Divac tonight. He's played an outstanding ball game.
Foul is called on Nowitzki. I don't think it was in the act of shooting. Let's see. The sack does have a foul to give here in the last 2 minutes.
Here's Vlade just showing extreme patience here in the block. Doesn't try to rush the shot. He knows the shot, or the clock rather, is your ally right now. And Vlade with a nice power move across the middle.
They call that foul in the act of shooting. I don't know about that. Perhaps they were going to call continuation. That didn't look like it was in the act. Vlade has 21 points in 33 minutes. Nowitzki made the first.
Now, when you're talking about Jim Jackson, one thing that you also have to remember, for young players, when they first get in the league, they're concerned about their numbers. As you get older, you start to realize it's not about that. It's about winning. And Jim Jackson certainly has made a huge difference in this Kings team this year.
Nowitzki, no field goals, Sean, in this quarter. 4 points. The contact draws the foul on Michael Finley, who is shaken up. Holding that left shoulder as he hit the neck hard in the collision. As Michael gets up, let's remind you, tonight on the East Coast, Sean joins Brett Musburger and David for Pistons Sixers, Game 6. Pistons trying to close it out at the First Union Center. Sixers trying to force Game 7. And if Game 7 of the series is necessary, it'll be on TNT at 8 Eastern Saturday night. And remember, on ABC on Sunday, we'll have either Game 1 of the Eastern Finals or Game 7 of Detroit-Philly. Bobby Jackson makes the first. Either way, we'll be at the Palace of Auburn Hills starting at 1 o'clock with the pregame on ABC on Sunday. How good has Sacramento been at the free throw line? 74% the season, nearly 100% tonight. Plus 8, 90 seconds to go. Bobby Jackson scored 19 tonight. Nash will take 3, and big 3.
He's so gutsy. This guy has never backed down to a big shot.
5-point game, 78 seconds. Van Exel on the defense against Bobby Jackson. The 2 stud 6 men on their teams. Divac goes baseline. Nowitzki the rebound. What defensive help from Walt Williams. What a huge possession here.
There's nowhere to go there for Vlade Divac.
Van Exel missed the 3. Rajab Bell's going to chase it down and keep it alive. Final minute. Nowitzki posting. Nash for another 3. He made it. Oh. 2-point game.
And Christie was dangerously close to getting a foul on that call. Nash almost went to the line for 4.
This is going to Vlade on the post again. Nowitzki fronting. He can't get it in there. So Vlade comes to set a screen for Stojakovic. The Mavericks can tie or take the lead.
Tough shot that time. He had plenty of time to get a much better attempt.
To their best. To Nowitzki. Kicks it out to Williams, the hero of Game 3. To Nash. Bobby Jackson, they've got to foul him here. And they do with 8.5 to go.
The Mavs have to take 2 on that possession.
Yep.
Dirk Nowitzki made a nice move to the middle. He had that turnaround jumper from about 10, and he passed it up. He gave it to a guy on the perimeter. That's his shot. It's his time to take it.
If they score here, they are still very much alive. Walt Williams to trigger.
They got to score as quickly as possible here.
Nowitzki takes it. He missed it. Rebound, Jim Jackson, who is fouled. And that should just about do it with 4 and 7/10 seconds to go. 3. It's over. And there'll be a 7th game. The amazing Sacramento fans on their feet throughout. The Dallas Mavericks a game effort, but the Kings force Game 7, 8 o'clock on TNT, Saturday night in Dallas.